Adar, Abhinandan, Abhar, Namaskar, and a very good evening to all my pro students of today's session. Welcome to this teaming tournament on public policy under Srijan Social Internship Program organized by the Atmanirbhar Vocational Learning in collaboration with Deep Welfare Organization. Well, today I'm going to start the session with a saying by Mr. Erlen Nightingale when he said, all you need is the plan, the roadmap, and the courage to press on to your destination. And that's what the intention of we, the change makers of the Atmanirbhar Bharat, is to put our next generation to the roadmap of public policy understanding. Well, public policy is a course of action created and enacted typically by a government in response to public real world problems. Beyond this broad definition, as per Richard Rose says, public policy is not a decision, it is a course or pattern of activity. While Robert Einstein termed public policy as the relationship of government units to its environment. I'm sure by now you could understand what we all trying to tell you about the public policy. It is a guideline of action of the government in addressing social problems. It is considered public policy because it deals with issues that touches many people. It requires the use of public resources in the attempt to find solutions and involves the use of public policy making bodies, that is the legislation, and to have a deeper understanding and insight about how public policy framework happens. I'm very glad to invite the convener of the Atmanirbhar Bharat, Mr. Pradeep Singh, who will be giving you the insights on public policy framework. Over to you, Pradeep ji.
Thanks. Thanks, Arpita ji. Thanks for this lovely introduction, how and what we are going to do and what our learners are here for. The people will be actually happy to know that today we are into the second week of this team event tournament, and our internship has been actually move on to finish with the finish of first assignment also. All those candidates, those who are actually registered with us, they all have submitted their assignment one, and that is good thing. So I must appreciate all of you, because you are on concerned road of course, that you are looking for a positive note once you are working on those things. The assignment 2 is with you, and Niharika has started the initiative Tag Your Internship on LinkedIn, and I have created one tagline also on that, so you can even use that tagline too. Moving on to today's session, of course. Today I will be talking more about the framework, exactly how the framework is and what the framework is. Please allow me to actually share the screen first, and then we will start the session. Yeah, are you able to see my screen? Please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, guys, today we will be covering this public policy, more or less about how exactly the public policy is. I had been into public policy, been into that World Bank project also, and during my this thing journey with Vision India Foundation, where we were actually trying to understand how exactly we are trying to we are going to framework this public policy. Although I was working for last, you can say 15 years on the implementation part, but somehow the journey of making the public policy started with 3 years back only, when I was with the World Bank. So that is how the things are. So basically, if I talk on, can you see my second slide?
No,
Is
Pradeep
it?
ji, it's not visible.
The slide is not visible, only your screen is visible.
Yes, the slide is not visible.
Slide is not, because I can see here slide. Wait a minute. Let me check it.
Now it's visible, Pradeep ji.
Thanks. Now, okay. So now it is visible to you, I feel. Okay, so here the particular slide is taking on the note how in the public policy what is exactly the ecosystem is. On the top left hand side, you can see very well how the nation or the government is actually that is having a complete control on public policy, and that is why they are on the top left hand corner. And then comes why the this particular public policy is this is solely on because for the economy, for the profit, and for the efficiency of the people, for the resources, this public policy has been actually developed for. And for whom actually? On the right hand side, if you see, I have written down the society. Society means where we are actually, as in people we are, as an individual we are. But there are certain norms connected with all these things. If I talk about the nation, if I talk about the economy, if I talk about the society, if I talk about these individuals, so they too have the values, okay? And they have the notions, they have the concerns on this. Coming to this government and nation, what exactly the government is looking for? Completely, solely, government is looking for law and order cases, and actually they are looking for the legitimacy of all these policies, those who are on the rule. So more or less, government is looking basically for legitimacy of this and outcome. Whatever has been rolled out, whatever has been actually rolled out by government as a policy or the schemes, there has to be some outcome of that, and that is what government is always looking for. Now coming to what exactly governments are doing. Governments are covering up, or they are actually delivering some of the economical schemes or some of the financial schemes to the people. And by that, what they are actually addressing, they are trying to address to gain certain profit. Profit is not only in terms of the revenue which they are collecting or the revenue which they are generating. They are trying to actually build up the efficiency of the individuals, efficiency of the country, efficiency of the resources too. So government is more concerned about this. But of course, because it is the ecosystem of public policy, so they are looking for the society too, and thus they are looking for the individuals too. But if I take the case of individuals, they are more centric, they are having more freedoms, but they are more or less they are culturally biased. Some are taking some rituals, some are actually believing on some beliefs, some are believing on some other rituals. So self-concentration is there, self-centric norms are there. Of course, their freedom is there, but they are having the cultural biases. Now coming to the societies, if I take on this nation, if I take the economy and then the individual, then becomes the society. So this is the complete structure of public policy where we are talking about the nation, we are talking about the economy, we are talking about the society, and where we are talking about the individual. And that is why I said one of the link to you all interns, how the Tamil Nadu government is coming up with this economic council, the advisors. Because if we are learning the public policy, we should know how the exactly ecosystem is working, what for this is being used, and why that council, and who are those people, those who are in the council. What is the think tank which is actually working on that? So these things we need to understand, and that is why I shared this thing to you. So coming down to our my next slide, what exactly the role has to play by the states? I must say here, if I talk about the states, I'm talking about either the state governments or I'm talking about the central governments, the union governments of all the countries, not only for India. So more or less, whenever we talk about the states, the primarily thought of any of the state is there should be a law and order to be maintained. And by that, they need to actually understand. They need to go for making all those implications, all those schemes, all those policies by which they can make peace in the country and violence should not be there. So whenever we talk about the violence should not be there, there has a mechanism, there has an institution, those who are working on that. Then comes state authorities, those who are working on taxations. Taxations are more about the goods. It's a medium of collecting the revenues, of course. That is what we are paying to the government, whatever we are using. Either we are going to the hotels, or we are using the airports, or we are using the roads. But we are paying it, our taxation to the governments, and governments are actually delivering those services to us. Whatever the schemes or whatever the services are by the government, that is due to the taxations also. So taxations have two components, of course, I must say. There are the legislation, those who are working on the taxation, and there are the institutions, those who are working on this taxation. So there are two sub parts of this taxation. Then comes the incentives. Okay, suppose you people are paying the taxes to the government. So against those taxations, against those payments to the states or to the governments, union governments, what against that you are getting? You are getting certain incentives or not. Suppose if I am working with some of the NGOs and I am donating some money to that NGO, NGO is giving me an ATV certificate to that. So by that, I am actually getting a leverage of tax benefit. Certain amount of my tax will actually get benefit that this will not come under taxation. Or even there are certain schemes. If I take about the Pradhan Mantri Jan Kalyan Ayog, Jan Dhan Yojana, or other schemes also, these carry those incentives for these people, for the individuals. Now comes the subsidies. If I talk about, you might be knowing how our gas deliveries are, how our oil deliveries are into the country, and other, of course, commodities which are being delivered across countries, across borders. So they get subsidized. There are certain services, there are certain goods which in which subsidized. Government is taking, of course, giving you the subsidies and paying out from their pockets. Whatever the revenues they are getting, they are actually paying out from their pockets for you people. And that is why this particular subset of subsidy, whatever the schemes coming under the subsidies, they are coming under public policies. So whatever the services or whatever the goods we are using as a citizen, sometimes it's been actually subsidized by the government, and government is paying on that. Then comes the higher income generation and public development activities. There are certain organizations, those who are working as a corporate or those who are working as an institution bodies. So whatever the income is being generated, that is being actually used for the public development activities, like our parks, like our railways, like our transportations, like our roads, like internet services. So these are the services which is actually being built up by actually delivering these policies, public policies, in terms of you take the case of incentive, or you take the case of subsidy, or you take the case of schemes. So this is how the role of the government is in the public policy. Now coming on to let me okay. So to deliver any of the policy, okay. So there has to be some requirements. There has to be some individual requirements. There has to be some institutional requirements. And based on those requirements, of course, these public policies are being framed out. So what are these requirements? If I give you in a nutshell what are these requirements are. So these requirements are that is vision. If we have a vision, that what are the things to be done, what is to be done. The vision is, of course, not for temporary phases. What is to be delivered for next 5 years? What is to be delivered to next 10 years? What can be the population for after 15 years or so? So that is actually needs to be visualized. for those things. And that is why I'm talking about the vision. If Tata has visionized that, okay, there will be a one day that people will be have electric car, that is nano car, Tata Nano. So initially, Tata ji has actually visualized, okay, we there will be one incident, or there will be one car which is being used by people. So that is why the vision is required to deliver any of the public policy or to deliver of the any of the scheme. Then comes what are the skills you have. See, without without skill set, we cannot actually work on our projects. We cannot work on the schemes. We cannot work on the policies. So we need to be skill fit. I must say, if we have any skills, we can very well plan certain things, or we can actually implement our resources. Those skilled people, those skilled resources, we can impart. We can actually place them, and then we can incentivize.
Sir, sorry to disturb you, but you are unmuted.
Pradeep sir, please
How long? How long? How long it is?
Sir, just a second ago.
just 5 seconds, sir.
Okay. So might be my host or co-host. My co-host is there today. See my time. Okay. So if I talk about the resources means whatever the things we have in hand, and whatever things we don't have in hand. Suppose if our country is having certain goods which has to be actually transferred to certain states, that we need to think for. What are the that particular state is having? Suppose I talk about the Mumbai. What Mumbai is having? Mumbai is having a corporate offices. Mumbai is having a oil barrels. Mumbai is having the reach into fruit culture. But what Mumbai is not having, that we need to take a note of that. And if I have an actually idea about the resources, whatever the resources we have, or whatever the resources we need to transfer to Mumbai, then we can plan then we can execute our policies and the schemes. Then we require action to be done. Whatever the action is required, that is to be actually written down in a planned way. That action is to be planned. There can be an action plan for that. And if that action plan is not there, there will be a mismatch, or there will be a false start on what is to be done beforehand. We will be doing afterhand, or there will be a schedule. There is a structure on that. That in the initial phases we have to do this. Later on we have to do this, and on the final round we have to do this. Like our team building tournament, we are doing this team building tournament, but I am trying to first make you to understand. Then our mentors are trying to make you understand all the policies, and that is how we are planning actually. That is the action plan only. If that action plan will not be there can be somewhere we are starting wrong. So these are the certain skill set which is required. So if I miss out, if I take it out likewise, if you don't have a vision, there will be a confusion among the people. Actually, what is to be done? Why we are doing this? So if we don't have a vision, there will be a confusion. If we don't have skill, suppose we don't have a people those who are not skilled enough, or we have the resources which are not good fit into this. So there will be anxiety what to do, how to do, who will be doing this thing, who all will be coming up, who all will not be coming up. So if the skill is not there, then there will be an anxiety among people, among enablers, of course. Then comes if the incentive is not there. See, if I talk about the people those who are working for me, or if I talk about the people those who are working for the government sector, or any of the policies or any of the schemes, if they are not paid, of course, handsomely, there will be a resistance out of that. They will be, or if the interns are feeling that okay, this is not good. Actually, the team tournament not giving interest to us. So there's somewhere there will be a resistance to that. So that is how people are. If the incentives are not there to them, if the incentives are not being added to those schemes, somewhere the resistance will be there, and this resistance will actually add on to the policy to be derailed, I must say, or a scheme to be derailed. Or there will not be a good, of course, good results on those particular policies. Then comes the resources. if we don't have the resources. Suppose I start on certain things, okay, and if I don't have a resources, I miss out with the money, or I miss out with the article, or I miss out with the electricity, or I miss out any of that particular resources which is highly required to actually roll out that particular policy or the scheme or that particular project. Then there will be a frustration that I am with this, people are there with me, we have those skill set also, but still we are not actually going ahead. And that is how the frustration starts among the management. That because we don't have the resources, that is why we are lagging behind. And last comes the action plans that I have covered. If we don't have an action plan, some way we are missing out the start, or there can be a fast start, or there can be in between, in mediatory, there will be certain wrong actions which should not be there on the plans. So this I covered this. Okay, so that was the skill set used for the this thing for delivering any of the public policy. Now comes in public policy, what exactly the roles or the dynamics of the public powers are, that ecosystem. See, in public policy, there are the 4 levels, I must say. Okay, those who are actually more or less enabling this particular any of the scheme or any of the public policy. On the topmost, the politicians are covered, and they have a de facto power of control on their resources. See what this de facto power is exactly is. Because they have the control on the resources, so they want to take on the control of each and everything. Whenever, because they are the legitimate, I must say, decision makers, and that is why they are using this de facto power on the resources. Whatever the resources have been actually used for that particular public policy, or whatever for the schemes. Then comes the institutions. Institutions are there. If I take on the NSE or BSE or RBI also, or even our finance ministry likewise. So these institutions are doing what? They are actually regulating. They are regulating the powers. They are regulating the powers of whom? Those who are actually into the public policy enablers, or those who are making these public policies, or those who are into the implementation of these public policies. So they are regulating the powers of these people in some way or other. There are the legislations, there are the guidelines, there are the GOs, which has been actually circulated to all the government machineries, all the departments, and that is why the institutions plays the higher role as a power of regulation, I must say. That is what actually been reflected at the GO. Then the bureaucrats. Bureaucrats, if I talk about the bureaucrats. See, Indian Administrative Services and of course Indian Police Administration, both of the sister organizations, they are more focused on the outcome. Whatever being taken care by the bureaucrats or the IPS, that is primarily focused on the outcome. So they have the vision that this is to be done and this will be the outcome. And for those outcomes, they are actually delivering all their resources, all their powers, whatever they have in their hand, or whatever they can do, of course. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the individuals comes in at the bottom of this pyramid. The individuals are there, but they are trying what? They are trying to get the more and more benefit. In any of the policy and any of the scheme, individuals are trying only for the, or they are saying, or they are only for what the advantage I am going to get, and that is why they are at the bottommost. Of course, that is the part of the ecosystem. But if I take the politicians and the politics, there are the negotiations always going on. They are very much adaptive. They are very much persuasive. You need to persuade them that okay, sir, this is to be done, and by this, these many people get actually benefited, and this can be the alternatives, and this can be the advantage of the political parties, or this can be advantages of the government, and that is why I asked. I have written here that they are being. You can negotiate with these. You can persuade all these politicians, and they are very much adaptive to the situations. But if I take on the public policy model, more or less, whenever we talk about the public policy model more focused on classifications, what is to be classified, how to be classified, what can be the categorization, what can be the maximum satisfaction level. And it is very much goal centric. That is why I keep on saying, you need to think for more about the outcome. What can be the result and outcome of that? Whatever that is being done, whatever is being framed out, what is being delivered, you need to think for those outcomes. You need to think for maximum satisfaction of the people. So, okay. So then comes I have delivered you this thing that this has been covered up. This has been covered up. Okay. This is also okay. So coming to here, what exactly whenever we're trying to implement any of the policy, public policy, what we need to consider? We need to consider any of the market favor. Suppose any market favor is there, then we have to take a note on that. That if I am going to roll out certain policy, or if I am going to roll out certain scheme, like corporates are doing, if they are going to roll out any of the bond, or if they are going to roll out any of these services for the people, they first go for a market research, or they at least go and think for their board meetings. In their board meetings, they think for there can be a market favor, and that needs to be taken care. Then whatever things you are going to deliver, whatever the services you are going to deliver, fixation of prices is must, because more or less the people, those who are going to pay for that, or the people, the benefit by which people are going to get it by that particular policy, they actually try to negotiate on that. And that is why the fixation of price is more or less required. Now, what you need to fix, once you try to fix the prices, you need to fix the inputs, outcomes, and outcomes also. Because if I'm taking the note of the whatever the inputs are there, what can be the output of that, and what can be the outcome of that, then only I can go and fix the price of any of the things. That is why we need to take on the note of input, output, and outcomes, and then fix up the prices of that. Then what money can be put in, or what money can be actually taken out, this needs to be think for. That is why the point number 4 is saying money to income generation. What we are actually putting as a capital by which we can generate the income for the people. Suppose Government of India is rolling out any of the policy which is more of the mechanism kind of job creation, but putting up that particular policy, it also incurs some income, money actually, capital income on that. They need to institutionalize certain things. So putting that particular income, putting that particular revenue to that particular program or that particular scheme, you need to actually judge what can be the income generation of the people out of that particular scheme. So this is very much important for the people whenever we talk about the public policy, whenever we draft any public policy, whenever we actually plan for any policy, what can be the income generation of the people in general. This needs to be taken consideration. And then comes the cost benefit. This cost benefit can be taken up either with the income generation that you need to compare, or you need to compare with the input, output, and outcomes. So this you need to take care of. What can be the benefit out of the cost? Then comes the state capacity. What that is what I was mentioning there. What Mumbai is having, or what other states or what other countries having, that needs to be taken care of. And then the power of politics. It is always there that power of politics means people sitting at states, they are saying that I have a leverage of having a oil barrels in my land, but I would ask that if you are giving me 100 rupees on that, I am asking for 110. So that is what the power of politics is there. Even the power of politics is also there that I am sitting in as a union government, so I have a say on this. State to state power of politics is there, and center to state the power of politics is there. So this is what the power of politics is. It totally depends upon or how our legislation is working on those, how the state to state relations and how the center to state relations. How this evaluation of public policy has been initiated, if I take on. See, in our older states or in our older days, once the rules were there on the kings were there and those people were there. The olden state of the public policy was very much state focused. It was very much state centric. The assumption of the public policy is more focused about the politicians and people, those who are in the power as a king. They feel to be that they are more powerful and they are only taking on charge of this public policy. The things slowly becomes melt down and the transformation happens. And this transformation happens with the state centric to becomes the people centric. Now the present scenario, when whatever the public policies are there, that is more focused upon the people centric. There are the assumptions that administration and politicians are the king in the older state, but in the newer state, the new form of public policies, administration and politicians are king, but citizens are the king. And that is what, whenever we talk about public policy, we need to take the consideration of the people for which we are actually going to deliver that particular public policy. So this is the difference between how earlier we are actually thinking for public policy and now what we are thinking presently. So moving on to this, a very key parameter about the public policy. Some of the points I have mentioned earlier also, some of the points we need to think for again and again. What can be the public policy key parameters? Stakeholders like the ecosystem are there. In the ecosystem also, there are the stakeholders. We need to think for, we need to pen down all the stakeholders for any of the schemes or for any of the policy. Who all are the stakeholders? Who all are the beneficiaries? Who all are the implementing bodies? Who all are enablers? Who all are the legislatives? Who all are actually the control, having the control powers? Which institution is going to do what? So this needs to be done. Then comes the legitimacy. Of course, more and more legitimate regulations should be there, so that people should be taken into consideration and they should be in confidence of that. Inclusiveness, if I take about any of the scheme, if I take about the men only and not the women, if I take about the men and women, but don't talk about the Divyangs, or don't talk about the transgenders, or don't talk about the NRIs or foreigners, those who are staying in my land. So then the inclusiveness will not be there. So whenever we draft or whenever we try or go for any of the public policy, take more into consideration about the inclusivity of that. Then comes the popular opinions. Of course, whenever we roll out any of the policy, if you take the simple case of new education policy, Government of India is trying. Government of India has rolled out various, of course, initiatives taking on the popular opinions about the people, like teachers, like management people, like principals. All are actually giving their thought on that, how to roll out the new education policy. Because it's been drafted, but there are still certain things. There are still some lacunas that is to be delivered. How to be delivered? What are the things left out? How we can actually go for using all the languages, these 30 languages or other language, 18 languages, which are actually as per the constitution which we are using. So rolling out that particular scheme or rolling out that particular new education policy, government is trying to take on the popular opinions from the schools, from the stakeholders, and that is how the public policy is to be delivered. If I take about the effectiveness, you need to measure it. You need to measure it, how exactly the effectiveness of that particular scheme is, in kind of either quarterly basis reports, or half-yearly basis reports, or annual basis reports. That can be done. Whether it's been good or whether it's been bad, where we are lacking or where we are lagging, and how to actually, how best we can address those deliverables whatever the things are being left out. Transparency, of course, if I take about the transparency of any of the scheme, how best government machinery can work for the people. If there are no such I must say, middlemen on these particular policies, so that can be more and more transparent. People can very well look in, or whatever the reports are there, whatever the suggestions are there coming up, that can be very well placed on the records and people can see. So that is how the transparency of that particular policy is. Of course, responsiveness, you need to take care. Sustainability, it's a bigger question of always whenever we talk about, and that is what we have done. About as assignment 1, we talk about the sustainability, but how we can attain that particular sustainability. We need to think for that. Of course, the sustainability of any of the policy or any of the scheme comes in when you put in some money on that. But that particular money can generate the income also. That money should create the income also. That money should create the outcome also. Then only the sustainability of that particular project is there. Else, more or less, the projects can derail actually. If you take certain cases in the past, we have delivered certain schemes and we have delivered certain policies, but due to lack of sustainability parameters on that get derailed. Now comes, if I talk about any of the policy, you need to think for localization. That is what the subsidiary and localization is. You think more and more about the hyper localization of the people. For whom I am going to deliver this you need to think for, and how to deliver this. Suppose I talk about any of the policy or any of the information which is to be shared to the people, you need to speak in their language itself, either Hindi or Uriya or Bangla or Telugu or Tamil, whatever the language is. Because more you disseminate that particular information, the more people will be responsive, and that is how the transparency of any public policy is. Once this has been achieved, you judge it of your own that okay, this can be replicatable, this can be scalable. You can then replicate it to different states, different cities, different even countries also. So this is what the public policy parameters are. Coherence is always required, because once the coherence is there among the people, among the stakeholders, those who are enablers, those who are makers, those who are implementing bodies, those who are actually direct beneficiaries or indirect beneficiaries. So if the coherence is there among these people, then more effectiveness of that particular policy is, and then only we can say that that particular public policy is inclusiveness in their thought, in their vision. Okay, so once okay, this where we were. Coherence. The best example of any of the thing is Jan Dhan Yojana. So with the Jan Dhan Yojana, I must say this, if you take down the note of Jan Dhan Yojana, this all parameters are being addressed by that particular scheme, that Jan Dhan Yojana. Okay, this is how we are actually constructing any of the public policy. We need to define, initially, we need to define the public policy, what can be the problem set, what are the problems we are going to address. Then we have to assemble the evidence in regard to that particular problem. What are those problems? What are those problems? What are the evidence for that particular problem? Then we need to construct certain alternatives on that. And based on those alternatives, we need to go for the criteria. And then select down those criteria, go for the outcome of those criteria, confront those trade-offs. There can be yes and no, there can be no and no, more no will be there. So you have to actually persuade to the people. You have to make people to come and confront on that. You need to do exercise where negotiations are there within the stakeholders, within the policy makers, within the implementing bodies. And once we are going to do this, then we have to come down and narrow down for the decisions. And then you need to actually tell your story. Okay, we are going to do this. So this is how public policy is being constructed. So this is actually I'm ending up this particular this thing presentation here. There is one more presentation where we are actually talking about how the comparison between the policies are. So this actually I have given the framework. I have just given the framework of how exactly we are actually defining the public policy, how we can deliver that particular public policy, how we can frame that particular public policy. But once we roll out this particular public policy, we roll out these particular schemes, in the later stages, we come out, there will be a mismatch with our visions and with our concept of public policy. And this mismatch is being addressed by another framework which is being called as comparison framework of public policy. It's been used for different thoughts process, and that I am going to deliver just now. Because why I am delivering these two slides in one go, if you get the idea of how we are framing out the public policy, and if you get the idea of comparing any of the public policy, you are able to actually represent those policies. Any of the policies you can then represent. Suppose tomorrow students are going to represent drone flying policy, and before that, Indian space policy was delivered by the students as a presentation, because they were not knowing about the comparison analysis of any of the public policy. Some way I was actually finding that they are looking out or they are missing out certain things. But for this presentation, the presentation which is going to be delivered tomorrow, I did mentor all the three teams certain things, but the present slide which I am going to do just now as a comparison analysis for public policy, if you really look on to that, if you really give a conscience on that, then you can present any of the policy or any of the presentation, I must say, either the backward or the forward of that, you can very well correlate and then you can present. So I'm just going to deliver, just allow me to also deliver the policy too. And meanwhile, if you have any queries, please let me know regarding that particular, primarily the previous presentation. You can very well actually ask. If you have any queries, please let me know. Or then we can move on to the next. Let me see on the chat box. I was not looking out at the chat box. Okay. We can see the slides only. Okay, it was like such. I was not visible to you. Okay, okay. Please, is there any queries? Please let me know. Or Arpita ji, by the time you can come in, you can address certain things on that, how students can present, and I am trying to actually make it out how our presentation and how I can be visible on this thing, our presentation for the second slides. Okay, you can by the time you can guide on that, how they are going to deliver the presentation.
Thanks, Pradeep ji. Well, I would love to hear some voice from the students because it's all the time me and Pradeep ji talking. So can we hear someone who would love to speak on today's forum? Can any one of you, the students? I don't know whether anyone has noticed or not. I today address them as pro. So I'm sure this new generation understands the meaning of pro, right? Can I have some yes? Can I hear some voice or everyone is on mute? Please come up.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
that's lovely.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
kind of energy that I am expecting from you all, the next gen. I was surprised today no one noticed when I addressed you as pro. Why pro? because you are going to be the pro, because you are the one who is blessed to have the knowledge on the public policy. So now I'm not going to call you students anymore. Now you're going to be a pro for a pro. You're going to be different from the others, right? How about it? How this idea is all about?
Great.
Lovely. That's
Nice,
nice.
ma'am.
So, my dear pro students, tell me one thing. When you have such a enthusiastic personality, when we call you up, are we so scary that you didn't want to be open to us? No, na. Do I look so scary? No, na.
No, ma'am, you are perfectly fine. Actually,
That's
some of us think if we misspoke any word or pronounce any word incorrectly, so it will be a laughable stock, you know. That's why all of us just stay quiet
no,
and
not
listen
at
to
all.
your
I
knowledge.
don't want you to be like that. I want to be friendly with you all because it's a
Yeah,
platform
ma'am.
where I need to understand you all guys. Until and unless you guys are open to us, we are not like that orthodox kind of uneducators, you know. We want to be parallel like you. We are acting more like friends to you, my dear students. So, you know, it's if you're not understanding, also you can ask questions, not in this session, text it. At least that's how it gives a vibe to us that yes, you are paying attention to the presentation. You know what I mean to say?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so that's kind of interaction I'm looking for, because then it becomes very monotonous, no? Every point of time, me talking or the person is talking. It's always good when you interact. Then you exchange your energies among us, right? So please, you know, I want you to be more frank, more open, and please don't be really concerned about that, you know, we're going to use something which you're not going to. I want you to converse with us. So please, I want my class to be really interactive, you know, because then we will also feel that fine, someone is listening, because this is all for you, right?
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you. Pradeep ji, you can take it over from here. Can you hear me, Pradeep ji?
Yeah, I can. I can
Is
hear
the
you.
phone-
Is I audible?
Yes, you are.
And
Yes,
my slide is visible to you all.
Yes.
Now, can you see me also and slide also? Because there were queries that I cannot see you and the slides both.
Yes, now I can see you also and the slide also. Yes, students? My pro
Yes, ma'am.
students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Please let me know if you have any queries on that previous slide which we were discussing. Please let me know if you have any of the idea. And yes, Pratik is there. Pratik is there in this this presentation? Pratik Soni.
Yes, sir.
Pratik, what was your doubt, beta?
Yes,
Please
sir,
let
no
me
doubt.
know.
Sir, no doubts.
You text me the mail. That is why I'm asking. If you have any queries, you can very well actually ping me also separately on WhatsApp too. Okay.
Okay,
कुछ
sir.
भी पता करना है anytime in any of the language, either English or Hindi, not
हाँ जी,
beyond
sir.
that. ठीक है?
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. And mentors of all these colleges and even the team leaders also, please have a look up with your students too. Be more interactive, or if, apart from this, if you require that we can take some of the other sessions, not on the public policy, just with the mingling of with all the students that we can take up. I and Arpita ji are very well there to help you out for any of the thing. Okay. So let us start the second set. Okay. This particular second set is saying what is why we are going for actually comparing any of the policy. See, there are two or I must say two of the things when we are actually trying to go for in comparisons for any of the public policy. These two instances are either we are going to change any of the public policy or the scheme, or we are going to evaluate a particular public policy. So in your case of presentation, you are going to really going to evaluate for that particular presentation, either space policy or zone policy. So there, what you are doing is you are taking out the analysis of results, you are taking out the analysis of impact, and you are taking out the analysis of output. That is what actually written below these three rounders. The two rounders in the center is saying that on what are the cases we are actually going for a comparison of public policy. These cases are either the policy change, on the second case is evaluating for that particular policy, whether it's been giving high or low outcome. I have not written low outcome, of course, but we are evaluating on that parameters too. Now coming to that, the topmost three circles. See, once we come out that, okay, this policy is not working, or once we come out with the solutions given in the down circles, that once we evaluate that particular policy is not working fine, then we go for a policy change. And then on that, also, we are doing two things. Either we are dismantling that particular policy, dismantling is we are totally rolling out that particular policy back. We are not taking it forward, or we are redesigning that particular policy. So once we go for a policy change, there can be two things. There can be a redesigning of that particular policy, or just totally rolling it down or dismantling that particular policy. So this is why we do the comparison of any of the public policy. Then comes public policy comparison. What can be the support extended by institutions? See, I mentioned earlier also, for any of the policies, who all are the main drivers, that is union states. So whenever we try to go for a comparison, the decision stays with union government or the state government, whether to go for a comparison or not, whether to roll it back or whether to redesign it. Firstly. Secondly, they need to work on the strength of each subject areas for the institutions and for the states too, because they are the deciding factor, and that is why actually they are working in this. Okay. Then comes what if the mass movement is there, the people, those who are around, or the beneficiaries, those who are there for that particular policy or the scheme, either they are in for the policy or they are against the policy. Both the cases can be there. I have written here only for that mass dissemination of information is there, because this mass dissemination of information can be in both the ways. It can be for the policy also, and it can be against the policy also. So there also we need to think for. When both of the conditions are there, you need to think for the comparison of that particular policy. You need to think of out of the box that what are the hanging fruits in your public policy or in your schemes. What can be left out, which can be thrown out of that? What is that rotten actually in that particular structure, which is to be replaced? And what can act as a catalyst to make a development or to go for a positive note or to enhance that particular public policy? Once we do the comparison, you need to measure the progress and rank as per the that particular policy. Okay, this thing is working out nicely, this thing is not working out. Because if we rank the progress of that particular subset and the segment of that particular scheme and those ecosystem and stakeholders, then you can take on the decision which is to be actually taken care of, which is to be thrown out, or which is to be made as for the for which we are need to go for in capacity building. That is what the things are whenever we talk about the public policy. So, and by that, what we are doing is, once we are talking about the measuring the progress or ranking them, we are actually making them to go for a competition. That is what we are doing it here also. You people are competing among yourself, and MITD is competing with UPS and Avinash Lingam students. So you all are competing and you all are getting the knowledge too. But we are actually judging you people. Our mentors are judging you people. What can be the progress after two weeks of this public policy, or what can be the progress after 4 weeks of public policy? What best you are actually learning, and what best can be making to you, make you people to learn. That is how the things are moving around. And the same way public policy is working on. The competitiveness, whatever the competitiveness, whenever we try about the competitiveness, this puts a certain mechanism to achieve the targets. Okay. Okay. If you see the circles here, okay, how the change is actually is whenever we talk about the public policy, the change maker are these. And who are these? Those who are doing the research, those who are then analyzing it, those who are persuading the people. There are the international affairs, country to country relations are there. China to India is relation, one subset relation. India to Sri Lanka, one subset relation. China to US and China to South Korea and North Korea, there is one such relation. So, whenever we talk about the public policy, which escapes the whole of, it talks about whole of the country, the international affairs play a very vital role on that. From which country we can try to import our equipments, for which country we can actually make our export to go on. That is why the institutional international affairs actually comes in. The economic reasoning we have to think for how the GDP is working, which sector is giving more leverage on GDP. Why we are talking more about the GDP in relation to education or in relation to health because of pandemic. What can best be taken care of after post-pandemic? That is what we need to think for. Whenever we talk about the public policy, as a change maker, you need to think for. You need to go for an economic reasoning. What best can be leveraged on? How best can be leveraged on? All those economic jargons and economic proverbs you need to think for. You need to understand for. There are the development institutions. There are the agriculture institutions. There are the CSIR, CSR institutions, those who are working, but they all, as an institution, they are trying to build up or they are trying to make certain changes in the for the development of the people, for the development of the schemes, and that is why these institutions are working, development institutions are working. Policy and politics always remains as a change maker because if the politicians are not there, they are not going with a yes, not okay, you have to go for it, then the policy cannot be actually rolled out, then the change cannot be rolled out. A decision maker sitting at top or as a government of India or state government are the political powers or the political peoples. So they do need to think for that particular changes. That is how the things are. Nation, state, and government plays the role, of course, because more or less all the schemes are being rolled out by those three bodies: national bodies, state bodies, and government bodies. Then the society and tradition comes in, and the constitution plays a very vital role here, because whenever we among the people, either the researchers or the development institutions or the individuals, they are fighting or negotiation goes around. This negotiation goes around this thing constitution only, and that is why Advocate Ramarao was there with us. He was actually teaching us how what exactly the framework of constitution is and what the constitution is for the public policy. So this is how, and these people, the knowledge set of the people we required. We require the politician, we require the researcher, we require the analyst, we require those people, those who are good in persuasion, negotiation, those who are good in economics, those who are good in international affairs, and those who really are into the institute with the institutions. So this is the knowledge set, and these are the people which are required for. And what exactly the skill set out of these people is exactly required? Humanity, patience, endurance, and resourcefulness. Of course, these four subsets, the major subsets of any of the public policy deliverance is required. If you are a human, if you think patiently, if you listen patiently to the people, if you have an endurance and you are resourcefulness, you have an resources with your knowledge, you have the resources with your skill, you have the resources with your equipments, articles, and whatever the things are required to force in when we are trying to go for any of the public or any of the scheme. This is required. Yeah, I can see some is there. Please mute yourself. Okay. So this is what the requirement of that particular for delivering the particular policy. Now if we go for a change, suppose if we came out that there will be a change in the particular public policy. So change management will work. So how this change management will is working exactly is, once we come out with a decision that we are going to change that particular policy, we are actually going for a redesigning of that particular policy. And how we are redesigning it? First, we are actually trying to individualize what are the present needs which are being actually missed out of this. We are redesigning the vision and mission statement of that particular public policy. By actually realigning the needs, we are framing out the vision and mission statement. Once we got the vision and mission statement, this is been disseminated to all the people those who are working for that particular policy. That okay, now we are having this vision and this is the missions to be actually catered for within the time frame of either 3 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, whatever been actually delivered on that or whatever been actually asked on that particular vision and mission statement. Then what we are doing is, to achieve that particular vision and mission, we are aligning our objectives. The objectives are for union government also, for state governments also. And not only this, we are redesigning the objective of the states and the union government. We are redesigning the indicators for input and output also. Here, input, I am saying those who are working for the public policy, those who are actually implementing for that particular policy. So input and output, you need to redesign. You have to reframe the indicators for that. Okay, this is to be done by this with this timeline. And if you give out these timelines, if you give out this input and output redesigning in a restructured format, then you are addressing the objectives also and the vision statement. So once policy goes to change, or policy goes for redesigning, we need to not only redesign vision statement and objectives, you have to give the positive indicators for input and output too. Then comes the action imperatives, because you have given the indicators there. These are the inputs, these are the outputs. But action imperatives are the bodies, those who are actually really trying to implement that particular policy in terms of heads and governing councils, in terms of team, in terms of monitoring and evaluation team, in terms of procurement, and in terms of end user agreements. So here you have to redefine the actions of each and every one. Either you take about the head and governing councils, or you take about the team leaders, and monitoring and evaluation body also. That you have to re-monitor all those things. You have to evaluate likewise, and your monitoring and your evaluation statements will be coming in every quarterly or every fortnightly. Likewise, how you are designing for that procurement, what are the things are coming in, how you are going to deliver, what can be the modes of payment, what can be the articles coming in, how many articles will be coming in. So this you need to redesign. And then the end user agreements. So once we talk about the public policy change, this is to be done. Whenever we dismantle means we are not at all going to this particular policy. Now, if I talk about the dismantling of that particular policy, you need to define the drawback of that particular policy. Okay, why this is being failed, I must say. What are the lacunas or what are the drawbacks of that particular policy? Define the each player's role also. Who has done what and where we actually really failed to do. If you define the role of the players, you are actually defining for the futuristic plan that how that particular policy get failed and why that get failed actually. We got the reasons out of that. If we define the players, role of the all the players, then you need to define the outcomes to the users. What was actually what was in thought of, how it's been actually failed, what was the outcome to that particular thing, people, those who are actually beneficiaries as a public policy or the schemes, they must know out of that, that okay, this was think likewise, and the outcome comes like such, and that is why the government of India or government of states or any of the even the international bodies, they come out with these solutions, but they need to come out to the people. Okay, they need to come out for the people that okay, we are going to do this because of this. So people should be aware about that. Set the disadvantages and advantages of those policies, because it's not that all the goods are there, or it's not that all the bads are there. Some goods and some bads will be there out of that. So you need to deliver on that. That these were the advantages. These stakeholders are working fine. These institutions are working fine. By that, the futuristic plan can be drawn. Okay, these institutions still can work on those things. They were good on actually monitoring part. They were good on administering this particular policy, but this subset actually did not work. So people get aware about those things. Institutions and policymakers get aware about those things. Set the examples. What can be the examples out of that? The failure examples and the good examples too out of that particular policy. You need to define the change mechanism, how we are, what we are going to do. Research the process and design the transformation. Transform that particular design mechanism of that. Go for piloting. If you are really going for piloting of that particular policy, again, if you are, although we are going to dismantle it, so we are not going for piloting. But if you are redesigning, if you are resetting the process, if you are redesigning the design framework of that, then you need to pilot it first and then ask for an institutional support and then roll it out. Because again, if you are going to do without piloting it, then again you are into falling into the bracket of failure. So whenever we try to roll out any of the policy, best roll out in fragmentation of piloting it with some subset of the people, those who are actually into that. So and now comes the public policy comparison analysis. Set the metrics for tracking processes. Whatever the progress is there. Suppose you have rolled out the policy which has been again reframed, but you need to set out the tracking progress. What has been done after 3 months, what has been done after 6 months, and that you need to keep on monitoring on that. Set the priority areas for each certain subset and take the action imperatives. Set the action imperatives for all. Prepare an action plan. Once you are preparing an action plan, you have to set out these action imperatives on that. Examples you need to set out for result and impact. How many number of institutions are working on that? How many people are benefited by that? This is the subset of giving the matrix out of result, out of impact. Number of lives, how many lives have been transformed by that particular policy or by that particular schemes, and number of lives which are been not transformed. This you need to give in. What are the establishments set in new? What are the things? What are the new institutions which are being rolled out by that particular policy or because of that particular policy? In terms of monitoring or in terms of enabling, I must say I'm talking more and more about the monitoring and enabling, because whenever we come out with any of the policy, there are certain new institutions comes in with that. So this we need to define. What are the establishments preset, or what are the establishments that are very much fresh because of that particular public policy of the scheme. Now comes when we compare about the this thing public policy comparison, you need to set the global standards out of that. The global standards can be ISOs, NBS, and IRF, because you are into institutions. Children might be knowing about the NBN and IRF, but there are the international standard organizations also, ISOs. You need to set out those global standards whenever you are trying to frame out those policies, or whenever you are trying to frame out those schemes. By setting that particular global standards, what we are actually trying to do, we are trying to actually think for a qualitative and quantitative standard of that particular scheme. how best we can actually help out our people. Suppose if I take the case of vaccination going in around in India for COVID-19, if we set out the quantitative standards that this is to be delivered, this many number of vaccinations to be delivered by each of the states, that is a one standard. But qualitative standard, I must say, that vaccination areas, wherever the vaccination drives are going on, either in the hospitals or otherwise any of the places, what are the quality standards, what are the parameters on the qualitative standards being taken care for that particular vaccination? How best we are actually thinking for social distancing? I'm actually trying to actually give you the understanding of that by means of qualitative standard. What actually I am referring for? Why we are setting out, or why we are going for a global standards? Why we are talking about the NBA and NIRF? Suppose if a student is in any of the NB or NIRF colleges, they get better placement and better actually once they apply for post graduation in overseas. I'm talking more about US colleges, European colleges, Australian colleges, and Canada colleges. So if they are into NBA and NIRF rankings, they get a better chance of actually getting admission there, even the placement too. And that is why, because these qualitative and quantitative standards talks about that. So that is why you need to set out this qualitative standard. Even in the localized, you need to standardize the safety regulations also, industrial safety regulations also, must be deliver those schemes. You need to back up each and everyone's plan. Stakeholder approach needs to be done, and need to actually break out for each team. You have to break out the plan, not only for actually going for that particular policy, even for backup also. So once you are actually trying to go for backup plan, then you are actually addressing the approach where you are actually trying to gauge what actually can come in, what unforeseen can be there, for which you are actually your team or your people are actually going to handle it. That is why I am saying for the backup plan, you require a stakeholder approach. Who will be doing what, and what can be the teams working on those natural calamities or unforeseens. Examples of output can be number of, if I take on this example, if I talk about the earlier slide also here, or if I take on the case of schools as an example of the output, number of admission in schools is a big example of output, or the number of admission in colleges for skill development courses. That is one best example to actually take on. Number of toilets we have delivered in villages. That is one best example for any of the scheme. But these numbers are the results. Number of soil card holders, number of Jan Dhan Yojana beneficiaries. Again, I'm saying that these are the result outputs. But you have to again go and judge for the outcome. Number of toilet in the villages is only one set. How many people are going to use it? This you need to take care of. This you need to write it down. This you need to place it and present it. That is only the outcome. So I must say, and I think I'm completing here. Okay, yeah, I'm completing here. Of course, the next session will be covering some of the policy theories, frameworks, state to center relations, and interstate relations. That is what the public policy is. Welcome to the world of public policy and national team building tournament to all of you. Best of luck from my side for tomorrow to all of you. I'm stopping my document here. And yeah, is my slide visible to you or not? Please let me know. Okay, so that's end for the today's presentation. I think you might have got certain idea on how the public policy is, what can be the framework of public policies, and how we are comparing public policies when we are presenting it or when we are actually dismantling it. that's for the today's, I must say. Any other queries, please let me know, or else you can switch on your camera so that by the time the closing will go on, Arpita ji will speak to you. We can have some photographs also. I request all, please switch on your videos so that we can have pics, and please let us know how you liked, whether you liked today's presentation or not, what all the subsets you are actually looking for, or what best we can deliver on, how you are thinking for public policy exactly, what is up to now your experiences, as if now we are into the second week. What is your experience on that? What was the this thing experience on SDG? I was looking out your assignment. If I speak on that, you people are doing so many wonders. Huh? No one has taken consideration that RTO is looking for one of the great things. You people are saying that RTO is working for only the innovation. What is left out in that? What RTO is working for? Can anyone please unmute and say me what are the roles and responsibilities of RTO? Anyone, any one of you. Even the I am saying coordinators also. Please let me know. What are the roles of RTO? You people are in BTech and you people are BBA and BA students. All are having bikes, I feel, or you might be having the cars also driving on. What all the things RTO are checking, you let me know that. That you can actually very well say. What are all the things RTO person, if any policeman from RTO is catching a hold of you, what are all the things he or she is checking it? Please let me know. Anyone?
Sir,
Sir, skill set of driving.
Yes, then?
Sir,
it checks the
so driving
condition of
skills.
the vehicles.
Please come one by one. Please come one by one. Okay. RNU, please come in.
Sir, it checks the condition of the vehicles which may affect the climate of the nation.
And who will write this thing on that? If you check on the SDGs, and if you check on your this thing, your assignment, I was looking out only one answer. That if anyone out of you have looked into the RTOs and compare it to the role of climate, no one has done. No one has done it.
I wrote climate action only.
Come again.
Sir, I wrote climate action only.
Who is there? Please.
Sir,
Please.
Radhika here.
Sir, I also do the same.
You are audible. Please let me know your name first.
Sir, Radhika.
Okay.
Sir,
Radhika, you mentioned what?
Sir, I mapped climate action in RTO.
100%.
Yes,
Shall I
sir.
open that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will not open it here. I was looking out first yours option because you have asked me certain things on that. Sir, what is that exactly the SDGs are? So I was looking out your options also. But I feel you didn't mention that. But still I will go on that. Okay. I'm not sure. But I was wondering why you people are not taking why you people were not taking a note of the RTO work actually. Every now and then we are actually either driving the bikes or the cars and they catch hold of us and they ask 3 documents. First is RC book, second is driving license, third is what?
PUC.
That is what it is there. First document they are asking for the license. Second document they are asking for the vehicle registration. Third document that what document they are looking for? RTO people, what document they are looking for? They are looking for your pollution check. And I was looking out with the SDGs. It's not so much complicated that SDGs are. Two of the students, Radhika and one more boy was there. They have done a very nicely. They have done actually. What they did is just they think of what the exactly those SDGs are for. First, they have mentioned those 17 SDGs to 17 organizations, and then after that they are correlating which SDG will go there, which SDG will go there on that. A simple exercise was given to you people. You make it a mess. I must say. Even some of the people, I will not take the names here. How public toilets are actually related to something other which is not there. Please see once you are into the assignment. Okay, do it with sincerity. Try to, if your any of the invigilator or evaluator from your colleges see on that you are referring public toilet with certain other SDGs which are nowhere actually related to that. What they will think for that I am working for these students, and these students are not actually, they are not able to think for like toilets are built up for what. There are 4 to 5 things for which public toilets are used. Okay, and they are addressing. Out of those SDGs, 4 or 5 subsets are there which you can actually very well use. But students are using a very, I must say, those which are not at all related to that particular SDGs. And it's not only with one boy, it's what I think 4 or 5 students that they have mentioned public toilets with some other SDGs. A simple definition of SDG, if you just see the definition of SDG and then correlate with the communities, you can go in, you can work on that, but you have not exercised that thing. If you are trying, if you are doing it on last hours, you will be doing this thing only. Don't do it likewise. I am giving you 7 days, 10 days time. The second assignment is there. I am giving you 5 days, 5 to 6 days. Let me see who all are coming out with best of the stories on LinkedIn. And yes, why I did give on the LinkedIn, because very next out of these college days, you are going to the corporate world. And if you are not able to use the LinkedIn, or if you are not on LinkedIn, go and register with the LinkedIn. That is why I have given this exercise. You know, this exercise I was giving it to professors also. When I am conducting some of the faculty development programs too. Okay. And there are certain professors, those who are not there on LinkedIn. And being a professional people, you must be on LinkedIn. At least you will get the idea of what exactly the developments coming in, rolling out across the world. Leave out the politics and the stories and other things. But there are certain good things on LinkedIn. That is why I am making sure that all you, at least 69 students, those who are with me, they will be on LinkedIn. And after this internship, they keep on going with the LinkedIn and making not only the friends and the professional friends, but also using it very profoundly for their career too. Because it's a great platform where we are getting a job, not only the job, even certain courses also, even certain good connects also. Likewise, I and Arpita keeps on that net worth is network or network is network. You need to think for. Okay. And I request all, please switch on your videos and let Arpita to take on. I have taken so much. Okay. Thanks. Yes, if anyone still has to say about SDGs, about some of the doubts, please let me know. I will clear it as if now. What all the doubts are there in your mind?
Sir, I had a doubt. Where will the SDG life below water will go?
Okay. Good question. Radhika, how our toilets are working?
got it, sir.
See,
Sir, I actually mapped clean water and sanitation there.
that is also there. See, once we talk about the water and sanitation hygiene, okay, that is earlier it was called as the WSH. On that I have got on the project also. Okay, once we talk about the WAS, that is water and sanitation hygiene, it was coming under the toilets also. It was coming for irrigation. It was coming for health also. Now this has been transformed to SDGs and 17 goals are being given. So just you need to think for, just you read out that particular SDG, okay, and just map it against that, those communities. If you really want to do it again, you can exercise of your own. Sir, I need to actually change my thing. I need to change my this thing presentation. Just exercise it and send it to me. You know, I too have did it for Radhika. Radhika was saying, sir, I am not able to do. I said, okay, you wait a while for half an hour or 1 hour. I'm coming up. If there is anything alteration is required, I will let you know. And only one alternation I refer to her. That is for the last 4 things. Because DM office or information centers or Krishi Bhavan, and one more thing was there, Vikas Bhavan. These 4 are the enablers of this thing, SDGs. You talk of take off any of the SDG, these 4 organizations are working. DM office, information office of governments, Krishi Bhavan, and of course Vikas Bhavan. These 4 offices are working. They are always aligned with any of the SDGs. All the 17 SDGs they are working for. But you need to think for it. And you know, out of these people, there are certain other people, those who are working on the articles of our event. And I will share their articles on these SDGs. I will really appreciate those 4 girls, those who have written a nice article on those SDGs. I have not given them. Just they came to know that assessment is there. Children are going and working on the assessment of SDGs, and they have written the article also. Not only they have mapped it, they have written the article too. And for all the 17 SDGs, it was a 4-liner presentation only for all the SDGs, but it was awesome. Take a time, at least take 1 hour to 2 hours to work on those things. How best we can write, or learn from Arpita ji. How best you can write it. Go on LinkedIn and just see how beautifully she is writing on LinkedIn. Check out with Mandakini Madam how best these people are preparing the videos on Hasna Foundation. The reason I am sharing these things on the social media, because you people can actually go and check in that how it's been written or how it's been placed on. How Hasna Foundation are actually, it's not only they are working in, they are actually sending it. There is a way to actually present that. That is what they are actually reflecting by their work, by their videos. Not taking much time. बहुत क्लास हो गया आज सब लोग का, ठीक है? Enjoy your weekends. लेकिन try to write certain good words. Try to use certain good proverbs. जितना आप अच्छा लिखेंगे उतना अच्छा रहेगा. आपके सीएम साहब भी देखेंगे जब आप टैग करेंगे कि अच्छा यार ये बच्चा अच्छा लिखता है. तीरथ साहब को ये भी लगेगा ना कि हाँ आर्यन ने लिखा है तो लेट अस कॉल आर्यन, यार इसको पता तो करें कौन है. साहिल अगर कहीं है तो साहिल अपने जब सीएम साहब को टैग करेगा तो ये भी तो जाएगा. इट्स नॉट ओनली दैट कि यू आर टैगिंग योर इंटर्नशिप, यू आर टैगिंग योरसेल्फ आल्सो. मैंने इसीलिए उसमें 10 लोगों को टैग करने के लिए कहा. आपके सीएम साहब को आप टैग कर रहे हैं, आप सीएम ऑफिस को टैग कर रहे हैं, आप वीसी सर को टैग कर रहे हैं, रजिस्ट्रार सर या मैडम को टैग कर रहे हैं, प्रोफेसर्स को टैग कर रहे हैं, एनजीओ को टैग कर रहे हैं, टीम को टैग कर रहे हैं, अपने स्टूडेंट्स को टैग कर रहे हैं, मेंटर्स को टैग कर रहे हैं. रह गया कोई? अब जब आप इतने लोगों को टैग करेंगे तो पीपल विल कम टू नो ना यू पीपल आर डूइंग दिस एंड यू पीपल आर हैविंग दिस मच नॉलेज ऑन दैट. कल को कोई भी सीएम ऑफिस, डीएम ऑफिस, विकास भवन आपको बुला के काम करा पाएगा. कि okay, these people have worked on this and they have the knowledge on those things. So उसको लिखना भी अच्छे तरीके से कोशिश करना. मेरा नाम तो टैग करना बहुत आसान है, मेरा नाम तो वहां पे टैग कर दोगे, कुछ नहीं है, वहां से लिंक से निकाल लिया और उसको पेस्ट कर दिया. लेकिन आर्टिकुलेशन करना एक बहुत बड़ी कला है. ट्राई टू डू दैट आल्सो. ओके, प्लीज स्विच ऑन द वीडियो. अब मैं नहीं बोलूंगा, ठीक है. ओवर टू अर्पिता जी. थैंक यू.
Thanks Pradeep ji. See my dear students, I won't take much of your time. मैं बस इतना ही कहना चाहूंगी, ये पूरी एक्सरसाइज जो हम लोगों ने आप लोगों के लिए डिजाइन की है, वो इसलिए डिजाइन की है क्योंकि आप में वो काबिलियत है पहली बार, और हम आपको प्रो बनाना चाहते हैं आपकी टर्मिनोलॉजीज में, बिकॉज आज के यंगस्टर्स ऑलवेज फील देमसेल्व्स लाइक दैट वे, नो, दैट आई एम अ प्रो काइंड ऑफ अ गाय. So to become a pro, you need to act like a pro also. So that's what we are trying to do. And don't feel any hesitated, you know, आपको हिच नहीं होना चाहिए. हम जो बोल रहे हैं वो आपके betterment के लिए बोल रहे हैं. Always think, because we are more experienced than you, and you know that कि our future is going to be the digital world altogether. तो क्यों डरने का, you know? I'm sure you all guys are on Insta, you all make funny videos, you girls are always coming up with their selfies and stunts. Fine, it's okay. Dancing, singing, preparing. Why not in this educational field also? You also need to tell the world what we are doing it in census studies. That's what we are trying to. When you are doing internship, do tag on the Twitters addressing to all those peoples. If on LinkedIn, do make the corporate world know that you are enriched on these areas and these are your interests. And always remember, if you don't have that circle, you will know what is moving and you will make that circle. And the opportunities will be knocking at your doors, because everyone needs the help of everyone, right? अगर मुझे जानना है इंटर्नशिप कौन अच्छा कर रहा है, तो मुझे पता है कि इन 60 स्टूडेंट्स में 10 लोग कितने प्रो हैं, तो नेक्स्ट असाइनमेंट में मैं उन्हीं को उठाने वाली हूँ. So it's an opportunity for you all guys to work on those assignments. So always think that you guys are working on yourself. This is an opportunity for you to show up your talents. So anyways, all the best. And my best wishes for the tomorrow's session. The people are there who are presenting for tomorrow's session. Best of luck to you all. And in the end, to conclude this session, I will say that to my dear lovely pro students, God has made all of us wonderfully different and unique, right? What we are trying to do is we together are on a journey of making a difference. And I myself is looking for that impact. And with the help of you all, I think I can make this public policy internship a success. So if you are all there with me on this, type yes in the chat box, all of you.
So with this, I required 49 years, including me.
Yes. See you tomorrow. Till then, goodbye. Take care.
One more announcement for you all. We are preparing an ebook. We are preparing an ebook wherein whatever things you have written, whatever things you have given as a short profile of yours, that is going to be there. Two of the questions were there regarding the vaccination drive and the social media, how to go for privacy in social media. That will be on that particular page. And I have a pics with NMITD students with me, but I request pics of UPS college and others also, of Nottingham College also. The team leader or the coordinator, please share the pics of all the students so that ebooks can be prepared on that. Mentors are having a different ebook. They are actually working on some other segments. But the ebook will be there for all the students. And very soon we will be actually publishing it also to you.
And so, Pradeep ji, one more thing that what we decided to tell our students is that whomsoever is doing good job, we will be featuring them on our websites too. The Atmanirbhar Bharat Vocational Learning on the LinkedIn or whatever, we are everywhere. You know, we are on the Facebook, we are on the Twitter, we are on the LinkedIn. people who are, putting their extra efforts, we will be publishing them. So go ahead, avail the opportunity, guys.
And yes, one more thing. On 30th, on the social media day, whatever the things you are going to reflect on LinkedIn, because 30th is only the result day for you people for the assignment 2. That we are going to share it on social handles by me and Arpita ji. If you people are interested, you also can join. We are going live to showcase your result for this assignment 2. Who all are the best into this, we will actually tag you people on that, and we will reflect on those things on the social media. So I and Arpita ji are doing one live event on that for assignment 2. So not taking much time. Best of luck to all those who are actually there for tomorrow presentation. Thank you to all. Enjoy, stay safe, stay healthy. Still Corona is there.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.